All right, let's get right into it. The entire world of crypto is going through a massive, massive change. So whether you're just thinking about jumping in or you're already deep in the game, you need to know that the rulebook for 2025 is being rewritten as we speak. This is your guide to figuring out what's coming next. You know, if you've been around crypto for a bit, this probably hits home. This comment right here from a Reddit user, it just perfectly sums up that frustration, doesn't it? That feeling that the wild, free-for-all days are, well, over. But is that really the whole story? Because then you see this. This is the other side of the coin, coming from a huge PwC report. They're painting a totally different picture. They're saying, hey, this isn't about shutting things down, it's about making things clear and safe for everyone. So you've got this tension, right? The OGs who feel like the soul is being ripped out, and the big institutions saying, this is how we grow up. And that's what we're going to unpack.
Now, to really get what's happening, we have to rewind a little bit. We need to remember why we all got so excited about this stuff in the first place. What was that big game-changing idea?
It really just comes down to this one simple, but honestly revolutionary idea. For the first time ever, we could send something of value directly from me to you, peer-to-peer, with no bank, no government, no credit card company in the middle to say yes or no. It was all about taking back control. And this is the perfect way to think about it. The old way, like your bank's records, that's a personal diary. The bank owns it, they write in it, they can erase stuff, it's theirs. But a blockchain? That's like a shared public notebook. Everybody in the network gets a copy. Every single entry is there for all to see. And once something's written down, you can't erase it. Ever. That just fundamentally changes how we do trust.
And that whole promise really stands on three big pillars. First, decentralization, meaning no one person, no CEO, no government can just turn it off. Then there's transparency, because like we said, everyone can see the transactions in that shared notebook. And finally, immutability, the idea that once a transaction is locked in, it is set in stone. It's designed to be secure.
Man, this quote from Mark Andreessen, a guy who helped build the internet as we know it, and this was way back in 2014, he just nailed it. He saw this wasn't just some new internet money, it was a totally new way to own something digitally. And he was right. The consequences of that are almost impossible to overstate. Okay, so let's jump from that huge, inspiring vision to the cold, hard reality that a lot of people are waking up to right now. What happens when that big promise of open access smacks right into a pop-up window that just says, access denied? I mean, just look at this. This is a real post from somebody talking about a change at the KuCoin exchange. Can you imagine the sheer panic of reading that? The platform where you have your money is suddenly saying, sorry, because of where you live, you might be locked out. And no, you can't get your funds. And the confusion just spirals. Here's another person, same problem, but they're locked out because of their IP address. And look at the choice they're facing. Do I call customer service and basically admit I'm in a place I'm not supposed to be, or do I try to use a VPN, which could get my account terminated anyway? There are no good options here. And this just goes to show you, people are having to become amateur lawyers just to get to their own money. This person had to dig through the terms and conditions to fight back. It really highlights this messy, confusing middle ground we're in, between the old anything-goes crypto and this new regulated world. So what's at the heart of all this chaos? It's these three little letters. KYC. No, your customer. It's something you've done a million times to open a bank account. You show your ID, prove where you live. It's all designed to stop things like money laundering. And now, this exact process is crashing down on crypto exchanges, causing huge headaches for people who signed up when none of this was required. Okay, so let's zoom out, because what's happening isn't about just one exchange or one country's laws. What we are witnessing is a massive, coordinated global effort to finally write the official rulebook for crypto. Yeah, the whole Wild West thing, it's pretty much over. The news story, the one that governments and banks are telling, is that it's time to, well, to tame the frontier, to build roads and fences, to manage the risks, and to actually protect the average person who wants to get involved. So let's take a quick trip around the world, starting in Europe. The EU has put out this massive piece of regulation called MiCAR. Think of it as one of the first complete rule books for crypto in the world, creating a single set of standards for the entire European Union. Then we hop over to the United States. For years, it's just been chaos and confusion, right? But now, the US is finally trying to move towards creating a clearer, more predictable set of rules. The idea is to stop the random lawsuits and actually create a stable environment for businesses to grow. And this is absolutely a global thing. It's not just the West. You look at major financial centers in Asia like Hong Kong and Singapore, and they're doing the exact same thing. They're rolling out really strict licensing requirements, all trying to find that perfect balance between letting new tech flourish and keeping investors safe. But, and this is a huge but, look at this. For all the press releases and new laws, the reality on the ground is way different. A global financial watchdog found that a whopping 75% of countries are not fully compliant with these new crypto standards. And that gap, that uneven rollout, is exactly why we're seeing all the confusion and problems that users are facing.
So, what on earth does all of this mean for you personally? Let's boil it all down into a simple, practical toolkit for how you can navigate this brand new crypto frontier in 2025 and beyond.
And let me be super, super clear here. This is not financial advice. I am not telling you what to buy or sell. The goal here is just to give you a mental playbook, a set of questions to help you think smarter and act safer in this new world. And that playbook really comes down to these 4 critical questions. 1. Where is your exchange actually located, and is it even allowed to operate where you live? 2. Have you done the whole KYC thing, and do you know exactly what your withdrawal limits are? 3. And this is a big one. Do you know if you're on a centralized exchange like Coinbase or a decentralized one? Because the rules for them are totally different. And finally, number 4. What are the specific crypto laws in your country? If you can answer these 4 questions, you are way ahead of the curve. Which brings us to the final question. Really the one that's at the heart of this whole thing. As all these rules start to lock into place, is crypto finally growing up and becoming a serious, legitimate part of the global financial system? Or is it selling out the very ideas of decentralization and freedom that made it so special in the first place? The answer to that is going to define everything for the next decade.